if I can just share something a bit personal, is that for a long time, when I was a teenager, I struggled with, I guess, assurance, and I saw a lot of Christians around me having very intense and powerful experiences of God, and seeming to kind of be going ever deeper with Him and flying ever higher in terms of their enthusiasm for being a Christian and seeming to conquer sin and all of that. And I would sort of see their life on a graph as just ever on the up, whereas I was thinking, I'm kind of not really feeling very much, and not really doing particularly well, and I'm trying to just be faithful. And I was a pastor's kid, and there's all of the ups and downs of the Christian life being a teenager. And I began to think, maybe I'm not actually a Christian, and I really want to be. I desperately want to be a Christian, but maybe I'm not. And so I became a Christian hundreds of times. I was one of those people who was trying to make it work as much as possible. So any time I was in a meeting where they got you to bow your head and pray or something like that, I was there saying, Lord, I really mean it this time. And that happened to me so much. And I actually began to fear that maybe deep down in the most sort of deepest heart of hearts, I didn't really want to be a Christian, and that I'd made myself believe that I did, but really I just never would be, because I was basically I was sort of torn against myself. And I tried to medicate that really by throwing myself into church life and serving all the ways I could, but I just couldn't shake this thing which would keep coming off the shelf and sort of threatening me that maybe this was all just a big game, and I've just been faking it, and I didn't feel anything for God, and I never experienced anything of God. And it was really that battle that sort of propelled me into theology, because really the first time I heard any teaching that helped me conquer that and battle that, it was partly through hearing and reading older theology, which basically said at that time, if I could paraphrase it, stop thinking about yourself and how you feel, and get your eyes onto Jesus, because in Jesus is where God has revealed Himself, and it's in Jesus that God has made promises about salvation. And it's very much secondary how you feel about that, and what your emotions are, what your experiences are, and even what your response of living a good Christian life is. That isn't what makes the difference. It's who Jesus is. And if you just look to Him and trust in Him, then you're safe. And that I really only heard that first from old theology, and being taught and then reading it and thinking, that solves all my problems. It is not about me. So that would be one of the big things, is assurance. Where do we go to know that we're safe for eternity? And I don't know that we always teach it very well. We tend to say, are you seeing a bit of evidence of growth maybe in a Christian life? And we go, I think I'm seeing maybe a bit. If I kind of squint at it from an angle, I'm seeing a little bit of growth, and I'm maybe conquering sin a little bit. Ooh, I'm sure that's evidence. And we give help that isn't very, very helpful. When the big help is, look at Jesus and look what He's done. Look at the one who's been loved by the Father eternally and has come to bestow that love upon you. You sinner. That's what we need to hear.